Hello. Come on in. Thanks for joining me today. You've arrived at the first episode of our newest Commuter Dawn initiative, a guided meditation series tailored to the Vic and commuter community. I'm hoping that you'll be able to play this meditation session during your commute. Perhaps a good way to make use of time that you feel like you're losing otherwise. But non-commuters, you can absolutely tune into these meditation sessions. I'm making them broad enough for you. For today's session, I'm going to start by introducing myself. I'll give you a little peek into the person who you're listening to. And then, I wanted to describe my aims for this guided meditation project. Why am I doing it? And what can you expect to happen if you so choose to follow along? We're then going to end with a shorter meditation. Here, I'll give you prompts to visualize related to a topical theme. And we'll wrap up with a mental and body scan. Are you ready? I'll take your silence as a yes. In fact, a very excited yes. For those of you who don't know me or haven't managed to identify my squealy voice yet, my name's Mridula. Mridula's fine too. At this point, I'm going to do something revolutionary for U of T students. I will not be listing my programs. I'm sure they'll come up in later sessions, but let's mix it up here. Maybe I'll say a little something about my name. So, my father chose my name. In Sanskrit, Mridula actually means to be soft or smooth. I think it fits with my meditative persona as of late. But rest assured, I don't always live up to my name. I have my share of rough moments. Stress, anxiety, rumination, they've been longtime friends for me. In fact, that's what brought me to meditation about 3 years ago. My friends of stress, anxiety, and rumination were showing up a lot during late high school. I probably took academics a little too seriously for my own good, never really letting myself enjoy my successes or let go of my failures. So I'd heard about meditation and I thought I'd check it out. I downloaded an app and I found just basic mindfulness practice, where you're monitoring the breath and eventually your surroundings, to be incredibly difficult. My mind was constantly spewing things at me, and when it wasn't doing that, I fell asleep. But I was persistent enough that I stuck with it. And as the months rolled by, the more I sat down and was willing to notice what was appearing in my conscious awareness, the more I observed a distinct change in how I was relating to my friends of stress, anxiety, and rumination. They didn't go away. I just began feeling a lot more confident in processing and responding to those mentally challenging moments. Meditation also opened me up to very ordinary but intensely profound mental states, whether that be the warmth of gratitude spreading throughout my chest, a felt sense of connection with other beings, or an internal ease in settling into my mind and body. At this point, meditation and mindfulness have helped me take charge of defining the kind of conscious experiences that I want to have during my life. They help me choose positive mental states over negative ones that I inflict upon myself. Jim Carrey has a great quote here. He says, "Meditation allows you to," quote, "see that there's a huge difference between a dog that is going to eat you in your mind and an actual dog that is going to eat you. That may sound like no big deal, but many never learned that distinction." End quote. This brings me to why I'm creating these meditations. Many people have found contemplative practices to be transformational, but I also realize that others still feel a certain hesitance in approaching these practices. And that's a valid thing to be feeling. Meditation can seem excessively esoteric or suspiciously spiritual, which rational scientific types might especially find discomforting. I completely understand these concerns, and rather than dismissing them, I'd like to work through them. I want to give students a very intuitive and accessible entry into meditation, allowing them to test out whether their theories about meditation actually hold up. My intention with these sessions is absolutely to not get you guys up in the clouds. It's more about planting your feet firmer in the ground so that you feel better prepared to answer your individual needs. For students, finding our footing can be absolutely crucial because we go so fast during the semester. We're constantly being inundated with work, social commitments, and the whole spectrum of emotions throughout the semester. And we're often long overdue, even before reading week, for hitting pause and just making sense of the way reality's functioning at this moment of time. You may also ask, Mridula, there are a lot of meditation sessions and apps out there, so why should I bother listening to you, a student who is inexperienced in so many ways? Well, I'd say touché. But these meditation sessions are going to be made with you in mind. They are specific to the VIC and commuter community. So I'm confident that the personal touches I throw in are going to help meditation resonate with you. And meanwhile, having a non-expert like myself leading these sessions may increase how easy it is for you to engage with them. I'm not going to be throwing jargon at you. Instead, it's just a readily available check-in between you and I. So, what are these meditation sessions going to look like? I'm going to try different styles with you, drawing from all different contemplative traditions. Sometimes, I'll take inspo and play you excerpts from other meditation creators. In such cases, I promise to still customize the sessions to fit our order. And what do I need from you? Firstly, be open. Secondly, listen and let your mind do its thing. Think of it like a parent sitting on a park bench while their child runs around in the grass. And finally, I'd love for you to give me feedback. What's working for you? What's not? Do I need to hire someone with a better voice to lead these sessions? You let me know. All right, my spiel is done. Today's meditation is more of a reflection. I'm going to give you 4 prompts to visualize, and then I'll give you a minute after each prompt to contemplate them. During this minute, I want you to really make these prompts your own. Engage your creativity, imagination, and allow your life experiences to give my words meaning. If you feel stuck, I encourage you to riffle through your memories of being a student and see if you can connect any of them back to the prompt. At this point, close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or rest your eyes on a particular point or object in your visual field. Choose whichever of those options will feel less distracting to you. And then find a comfortable seated position. The theme I'm going to discuss during this session is the commute. For commuter students, the commute is an inherent part of their schedule. It partly defines their student experience, because commuters have to keep track of how they are getting to school and back home every day. If they choose to spontaneously go to an event, they now have to reconsider their commuting plans. When compared to resident students, some commuters may feel like they are losing precious time that they could use to work or be social. But to me, the spirit of commuting is essential to the human experience. When taken as a metaphor, the commute can mean a lot more, both to resident and commuter students. Here's your first prompt. We all have a home, a place of comfort and familiarity. We also have a workplace, one of discomfort and unfamiliarity, which, nonetheless, is essential for our growth. Mentally, we spend most of our time in between this place of comfort and growth. The commute. I'll repeat it again. We all have a home, a place of comfort and familiarity. We also have a workplace, one of discomfort and unfamiliarity, which, nonetheless, is essential for our growth. Mentally, we spend most of our time in between this place of comfort and growth, the commute. Now, I'd like you to spend the next moment of time reflecting how the prompt connects to your life and experiences. And now, your second prompt. The commute is an opportunity to set our mind straight and choose which version of ourselves we want to show up at home or work. We must think and select the attitudes we want to project before we make our arrival. The commute is an opportunity to set our mind straight and choose which version of ourselves we want to show up at home or work. We must think and select the attitudes we want to project before we make our arrival. Once again, I invite you to use the next interval of silence to reflect how the prompt offers a lens to apply to your life experiences. Here's your third prompt. Sometimes we do not choose the right vehicle or pathway for our commute. We do not arrive at the doorsteps of comfort or growth. Instead, we may arrive at a station nearby, and we have to make the intentional choice to complete the journey, landing precisely where we want to. So consider, do you have another leg left in your commute? Sometimes we do not choose the right vehicle or pathway for our commute. We do not arrive at the doorsteps of comfort or growth. Instead, we may arrive at a station nearby, and we have to make the intentional choice to complete the journey, landing precisely where we want to. So consider, do you have another leg left in your commute? Finally, the commute does not need to be limited to your personal journey from comfort to growth. You can meet new friends and witness a number of surprising things that make the ride worth it. The commute does not need to be limited to your personal journey from comfort to growth. You can meet new friends and witness a number of surprising things that make the ride worth it. I hope you enjoyed considering how the commute relates to our personal origins, destinations, and journeys. In the last couple minutes of this session, I want to recognize and quietly celebrate the version of you in this vehicle. So let's do a quick mental and body scan. Close your eyes if you hadn't done so at the beginning. Start by taking a satisfying deep breath in and out. Then direct your internal gaze at your feet. What does the ground, chair, or soles of your shoes feel like on your feet? Think texture, temperature, and patterns of sensation. Now walk your awareness up to your legs. Do you notice any tension in your hips or knees? Any creaking sounds that make you question whether you're getting old? And once again, consider the texture, temperature, and patterns of movement pervading your lower limbs. Gently bring your awareness to the patterns of energy in your torso and sternum. Do you feel the contours of any of your bones? What is the character of your heart center at this moment? Allow your awareness to wrap around your back and travel up your spine and neck. Can you notice any tension along your spinal path? If you let go of this tension, what kind of knock-on effects does that relaxation have across your spine and back? Now, arrive at the base of your face. Notice your facial muscles, your jaw, the way your teeth are suspending in your mouth. Do you have any contraction surrounding your eyes? Screens tend to do that for me. Oh, and don't forget to touch base with your nose, lips, and ears. You know, don't want to make them feel left out. And finally, what emotion do you feel most at this given moment? And where do you feel it in your body? Open your eyes and greet your surroundings again, allowing the influx of light to equilibrate. After today's session, I want you to try to do check-ins with your body and mental space throughout these upcoming weeks. The commute, both in a literal and metaphorical sense, is a perfect time to do it. Whether you're nearing on comfort or growth, I want you to use the commute to arrive fully.